Today on OC News, authorities believe they have arrested the man connected to the Aliso Viejo bombing back in 2018.
Then we have the latest update on the measles outbreak, and later we have a special guest live in the studio to discuss the current political climate.
Thank you for joining us at OC News. I'm Chloe Abbott.
And I'm Marcos Mora. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
Newport Harbor High School is hosting a forum with principals from multiple high schools and members of the Jewish community today at 6 p.m. after photos that appear to show Nazi-related imagery surfaced on social media this weekend. The photos were allegedly posted by high school teenagers from the Newport Beach area. The images appear to show some teens with outstretched arms in a Nazi salute, while a table of red cups arranged in the shape of a swastika lie in front of them. Multiple beer cans can also be seen on the table, and a box of beer cans can be seen under the table. An open letter written by Jewish students said the photo is not an isolated event. School board president Charlene Matoyer said they have identified several students from the photos. Matoyer to the LD, the OC registered that district and school administrators, along with a crisis team, were meeting on campus Sunday to determine the next steps and possible disciplinary action against the students who were involved. We'll have more on the subject later on in the show when we chat with communications professor Dr. Anthony Fellow. A Long Beach man was arrested yesterday following a 9-month-long investigation by federal and local authorities. Stephen William Beal was arrested after authorities found chemical and material evidence in his home and a car that linked him to the explosion of a spa in Aliso Viejo that happened last May.
We believe Ms. Krasniak, who is Mr. Beal's former girlfriend, was the intended target.
Krasniak died in the explosion and 2 clients were severely injured. Now Beal will face charges for malicious destruction of a building that includes a death with the possibility of a life sentence behind bars.
After suffering a massive stroke, 90s heartthrob Luke Perry, who played beloved bad boy Dylan McKay on the hit series Beverly Hills 90210, has died at 52. Perry was reportedly surrounded by immediate family as well as close friends and other extended family at his time of death earlier today. This wasn't the actor's first health scare. In 2017, he revealed that doctors found precancerous tumors during a colonoscopy. Perry was hospitalized in Los Angeles last Wednesday, just one day before Fox announced 90210 reboot. Though he had yet to sign on the project, he stated in 2017 that he would be willing to be a part of that project. More recently, Perry appeared on Riverdale, the CW series based on the Archie comics, where he played Archie's father, Fred Andrews. According to a statement from Riverdale's executive producers, Warner Brothers Television, and the CW, Luke was everything you would hope he would be, an incredible, caring, consummate professional with a giant heart and a true friend to all. Cast members, both past and present, have also been sharing an outpouring of support since his hospitalization last week and now reacting to his sudden loss. Luke Perry is survived by his 2 children, ex-wife, and fiancé. Our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family during this difficult time.
23 people are dead from the series of deadly tornadoes that ravaged through Alabama on Sunday. All of the deaths occurred in the county, which received the worst of the deadly tornadoes. At least 12 tornadoes touched down in total between Alabama and Georgia. According to the National Weather Service, 2 tornadoes touched down in Lee County alone within an hour and registered winds over 170 miles per hour. This is the most deaths caused by a tornado in the state of Alabama since 2011, where over 200 people were killed. Representatives from the National Weather Service Birmingham claimed that this was the worst tornado to hit the United States in over half a decade.
I walked the track here on Highway 11 earlier, and I estimated the path width at 0.87 miles, or almost a mile wide. So a monster tornado as it moved across the area. Early estimate, at least 24 miles long. Our counterparts at the Peachtree City office in Georgia, they're surveying on their side of the border, so that track could be longer. This was the deadliest tornado in the United States since the Moore, Oklahoma tornado in 2013.
Alabama and Georgia are no longer under tornado watch. Crews will continue to search for people throughout the week.
It's a new era of space exploration. SpaceX launched a new rocket into orbit. This could take traveling to another dimension. The SpaceX crew launched Dragon capsule from Cape Canaveral in Florida early Saturday morning. That capsule, unmanned for this flight, is carrying a dummy named Ripley. It's the company's first spacecraft designed to carry astronauts into orbit. SpaceX has become the first company to design, build, launch, and now dock a commercial spaceship made to fly people to the International Space Station. It will dock with the International Space Station Sunday to drop off about 400 pounds of supplies. The goal is to prove the new spaceship is safe to fly its astronauts. Crew Dragon will fly back home in 5 days. A Louisville man accused of posing as an 11-year-old girl on Instagram took naked pictures to get the attention of other young Australian girls was prosecuted on Friday. Sean Dixon faces 4 felony charges. Among the allegations, police say he convinced an 8-year-old girl to send nude photos of him and threatened her when she refused to send more. He's also accused of distributing those images to other people. The 22-year-old was on house arrest at the time in November of 2017 on similar child porn charges. In this case, he's accused of sending explicit photos to a minor in Greece over Skype. In the new case, police determined he violated the terms of his house arrest, did a search of his home for evidence, and arrested him Thursday. Dixon is held on a $250,000 bond and is due back in court later this month. The British royal family is taking a stand against cyberbullying. The royals published new rules Monday for its social media channels, including mandating that users show courtesy, kindness, and respect. The royal family warns that anyone posting obscene, threatening, or abusive comments will be blocked or reported to the police. The new guidelines come after escalating online abuse of the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, and Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle.
Coming up next, the viral challenge that has scared many in the U.S. and now recently in the U.K.
Also, are you ready for spring break? Well, it might be your lucky day because an American airline is selling tickets to Hawaii for $50. More details coming up next.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock.
So yeah, I've always only flown.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
The airline JetBlue has announced a contest they're calling All You Can Jet, where 3 lucky people can win a year's worth of free flights. It's all part of this week's Technology Watch. They are asking that contestants erase all of their Instagram pictures, post a customized promotion image using a special JetBlue template, and mention JetBlue in the caption. Once all of those steps are taken, the airline will choose 3 lucky winners. The contest began February 27th and will end Friday, March 8th. Parents everywhere are freaking out over the Momo challenge. If you haven't heard, Momo is a big-eyed half-bird sculpture terrorizing children all over the internet. The challenge initially went viral in 2017 and resurfaced just last week. The Momo challenge is a viral game shared on messaging outlets like WhatsApp and also on other applications like YouTube that talks to young children into violence or even suicide. Images of Momo pop up with messages and commands that lead to violence. And for 5-year-old Giovanni Pedroza, it was hard to erase those images from his head. Momo's creator, Japanese sculptor Keisuke, also has been blamed for terrorizing children with his sculpture and has announced that Momo is dead, saying, "The children can be reassured Momo is dead. She doesn't exist and the curse is gone." Amazon has started removing anti-vaccine documentaries from its Amazon Prime Video streaming. This happened only days after a CNN business report stated Amazon is surfacing and recommending anti-vaccination books and movies. Amazon has removed movies like We Don't Vaccinate, Shoot 'em Up, The Truth About Vaccines, and Vaxxed from Cover Up to Catastrophe. Amazon has not yet responded on why those videos are currently unavailable on their platforms.
Next, we have Maricela Perez with an update on health.
This expensive treatment, known as a vampire facial, became popular after Kim Kardashian posted it on social media. This popular treatment, in which the patient's blood is drawn and then spun in a centrifuge to isolate platelets and growth factors from the blood, is claimed by estheticians to promote collagen synthesis in the skin and hair growth in the scalp, as well as delay hair loss. But recently, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration issued a statement warning consumers against using plasma infusion, saying the anti-aging benefits are non-existent, and they strongly discourage consumers from getting these procedures done before doing any kind of research. More than 200 measles cases reported this year in the U.S. already. 206 cases have been reported by the Centers of Disease Control since January, and more than 47 reported in 11 states only last week. On Friday, the Boston Public Health Commission alerted the public of a confirmed case of measles. The person confirmed of having the virus took a bus from New York to Boston and then another bus from the airport to New Hampshire. The commission alerted everyone who might have had exposure to this person of possibly becoming ill between March 3rd and March 19th. The commission encourages people to get vaccinated, especially infants and elders, since they are the most prone to getting sick. They also state that the virus is highly contagious and spreads through the air through coughing and sneezing.
College girls everywhere can rejoice. Everyone's favorite brother boy band is back in action after a 5-year hiatus. The Jonas Brothers are back after more than a 5-year split. The pop trio released their new single, Sucker, on Friday at midnight. The brothers said in an Australian radio show that an informal reunion is what brought them back together. Nick's wife, Priyanka Chopra, Kevin's wife, Danielle Jonas, and Joe's fiancée, Sophie Turner, all starred in the new music video for Sucker. The ongoing drama between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is reaching new heights. Depp is suing Heard on defamation for $50 million. Heard claimed in the Washington Post that she suffered domestic abuse, even though Depp's name is not mentioned in the article. Depp is saying Heard is a perpetrator and that this is all a publicity stunt and he never abused her. HBO released the first half of the documentary Leaving Neverland, which is about two men's allegations, James Safechuck and Wade Robeson, who say Michael Jackson sexually abused them. Here's a clip from the film.
Just kid things. They were just doing kid things. He just came across as a loving, caring, kind soul. It was easy to believe that he was just that.
Out of a storybook, right? Out of a fairy tale.
Hello, Wade. Today is your birthday, so congratulations. I love you. Goodbye.
There's no thoughts of this is wrong or anything like that.
He told me if they ever found out what we were doing, he and I would go to jail.
Straight ahead on OC News, we have a guest live in the studio to talk about the political climate and what may have caused a group of Newport Beach teens to demonstrate Nazi propaganda.
Dr. Anthony Fellow joins us after the break.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Administrators and Newport Beach High School parents will meet in about an hour to discuss a weekend party where students were displaying anti-Semitic symbols. Some say this was not an isolated incident. Joining us live to help put the story into context is Dr. Anthony Fellows, a doctor at Cal State Fullerton and a professor in communications. His research areas focus on media, ethics, history, and First Amendment rights. Dr. Fellow, earlier today, we discussed high school students who were playing beer pong with the cups arranged in form of a swastika and also apparently doing Nazi salutations. What do you think about this story? What does it say in the relation to climate, political climate in the U.S.?
First of all, I'm wondering why 18-year-olds are drinking in the first place. But there is a climate in the United States of hatred. We see it in the United States Congress with this new Congress. And I was reading some of the comments and some of the stories that were written by newspapers in the surrounding area, particularly Newport Beach today. And some people wrote in and said, you know, it's the Republicans are the cause of all this, and these kids were raised by Republicans, which is like being raised by wolves. That is a stupid comment to say in today's America, because I know a lot of Democratic families that are just as worse, and I'm a Democrat. But we've got to stop the hatred in the United States Congress, in the United States. Mr. Trump is our president. He was elected duly by the people and won the Electoral College, and that's where everything is stemming today. But it's very terrible when we see students playing around with swastikas, Nazi attire, Nazi instruments. This was a horrible time in the world, World War II. And Hitler and the Nazis were horrible people, doing horrible things to people and put people to death in gas chambers. And I don't know who to blame. I don't know if we should blame parents because they have a job in raising their children. I don't know if we should blame education, even the university. You know, the problem is, I think, I'm a historian and write history books, and we have lost the history of our country. We have lost the history of the world. Because, as Neil Postman said in his book, we want to teach today technocrats. Everything deals with how do we use this new type of technology, and history has been banished from the education curriculum. And what we are producing are a bunch of technocrats in the United States, and that cannot really, they can't comment and be part of the big questions of our time.
Dr. Fellow, you touched a little bit on Trump. What do you think events like this have or what effect are they going to have on the presidential run in 2020?
It will have no effect on the presidential
run.
No
effect. So there was also an event last week about a poster that targeted a Muslim congresswoman. What do you think that will play? What do you think all these events have to do with each other? What does it say about our education system here in the United States? Because history does repeat itself, and we're kind of seeing that now with a lot of events that target certain minorities. What do you have to say about the education system in the United States?
I think we need to put history back into the curriculum. And you know, Carl Sandburg once says, when a nation loses its way and loses its history, it loses its country. And I fear that's what's going to happen in the United States. But when I look at the United States Congress today, the hate, and we have to also say that in history, this is nothing new. Go back to Lincoln's time, when Lincoln was called a monkey face by members of Congress, and was called such horrible names because of some of his actions. And this was one of our greatest presidents. And so it's nothing new. But the hatred today in the United States Congress, when a Muslim can get up, which is fine, we need more in Congress, but when they can get up and disparage and say nasty things about other ethnic groups, that's wrong. When a Democrat could get up and disparage Republicans and say nasty things, it's wrong. It's wrong when a Republican gets up and says things about Democrats. You know, we got to practice what Jesus Christ said. We got to love one another. As Lyndon Johnson said, either we love one another or we're going to die.
Do you think we can improve from here? Do you think it'll get better?
Oh, it's going to get better. Life goes on, things get better. And I think it's up to parents, and I'm sure these parents are aghast at what happened, though I don't know how they got this party going. And But things always get better. I'm a
Fellow,
positive person.
Dr. Fellow, sorry to interrupt you. You're a teacher here at Cal State Fullerton and also at USC. What do you personally do with your teaching system to get students to understand how important it is for the United States to understand concepts like hatred against minorities, or even just events and issues that have targeted minorities in the past, for example, like 9/11? What do you teach about those events, and how do you teach it so that students truly understand what big of an impact this has on the United States?
I spend a lot of time, particularly in my history classes, talking about Martin Luther King, who to me was one of the greatest men. I think this is a person who should have been president of the United States, and about what he was trying to do. And we talk about the amendments of giving blacks the right to vote. And this did not only affect blacks, but women at the time didn't vote. And this civil rights movement, which forged ahead with Martin Luther King, helped society in general. It helped women, it helped minorities, it helped America. And I spend a lot of time talking about Martin Luther King and this whole notion that he had of the American dream and achieving that dream.
Thank you for joining us today, Dr. Fellow.
Well, that does it for us today here on OC News. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. We'll see you guys next week.
I'm Chloe Abbott. Have a good evening, everyone. You didn't say